Hi, I'm Mrs. Myers, and I'll be teaching 7th grade life science, 8th grade earth science, 9th grade physical science, and 10th grade biology this year at Humble Christian School. Welcome. I have my graduate and undergrad degrees in environmental science, and I'm also Texas certified in early childhood through 6th grade, and in science and in special education, as well as English as a second language. I love hands-on engaging activities. I'm really big on this. I feel like students should be learning with their hands and getting the nuts and bolts of science, getting right down into the nuts and bolts of it. So I'm going to try and integrate as many of these hands-on activities as I can into our classroom experience. Our daughter is new to Humble Christian School. She's going into 8th grade. So she's really excited about that. We're new to Texas, and we attend Woodlands Church. We love it. We love that church. This year, your students will be required to have a 1.5-inch binder. I know our list refers to a spiral, and I apologize for that, but I would like to get them to all have a 1.5-inch binder. We're going to need notebook paper, and all of our notes and assignments will be able to be 3-hole punched and kept in this binder. Also, please purchase 4 pocket folders that will be additional storage inside the binder, and also serve as separating our 4 9-week grading periods. So besides the binder and the folders and the notebook paper, your students will also need graph paper, a protractor, a pen and a pencil, a white polymer eraser, which looks like this, and please do purchase some index cards. They can be ruled or unruled. Probably ruled might be easier. And the index card rings, we're going to use these for our terms every chapter. A scientific calculator is also required, but you do need to get that for math, so you can use the same one for both subjects. When your students come into the class, they will need to sharpen their pencil and get all of their required supplies. I have some supplied in the classroom, and so if they're missing an item, there'll be some in the classroom as well. They'll need to get their class folder, which is color-coded by class, and they pick that up in order to get any of their graded papers. There will also be in the back of all of the class folders a missed work folder. If they've missed for an appointment the prior day, or even a whole day or a couple of days, they can check this folder and be able to know what the class did and be able to make up their work, for which time they will have a day for every day they've missed. They'll need to get their book and their lab manual and sit down and get ready to work. When everybody is seated, we'll get started. Well, as people sit down, as the students sit down, they will start with their warm-up, and then when everybody is finished with their warm-up, we'll be able to move on to our mini lesson and class discussion, after which time we'll proceed with a class activity, divide into groups, and either do a lab activity or some sort of hands-on activity that practices our science concepts. There will be homework as well, probably not every night, but there will be homework. Could be the terms, could be reading, or it could be some sort of lab assignment that they're able to do at home, or perhaps some additional research, something we've discussed in class, that they could do some further research at home and bring it to the class for discussion the next day. Students are expected to come to class prepared to learn, prepared to pay attention, and be prepared to take notes and work hard and contribute to our class activities and group activities. I do expect a spirit of kindness and acceptance and respect from all students. We all have been given wonderful talents by God, and we need to appreciate the diversity in each and every one of us and all of the valuable talents that we have to bring to the table to make our classroom community complete. To that end, I also expect everyone to remember the fruit of the Spirit and to treat everyone as though Jesus was sitting right in our classroom. It's so important for us to all be kind to one another so that we can all feel secure and be able to learn, and not be afraid to come out with how we feel or our opinions about certain things. I want everyone to feel safe and secure in the classroom. Assignments will be graded in class as well as on my own, so we will take the time sometimes to be grading them. Some assignments will be done in class and some will be done at home as homework. There will be chapter tests, and the terms are to be completed at the beginning as we start the chapter, and then I will check those terms on the flashcards, on the index cards, before we do our chapter test every test. So I do expect when students work on assignments or any sort of project or their test to please write legibly. If I'm not able to read it, I'm not able to grade it. So that's really important if the students take the time to write neatly. Also, every test or assignment needs to have the proper heading, which would be their name, the subject, and the date. Absences, as I mentioned before with the class folders, every student is given 1 day to make up a day missed. And if there are any late assignments that aren't related to an absence, then there will be 15 points taken off of that grade for every day that they're late. If we're writing answers to questions, I ask students to please write the question out and then write the answer in complete sentences and also in their own words. I don't accept any text talk, which is essentially copying the text. I don't feel that students are really processing the information and learning the concepts if they're just copying, looking up the answers and writing them down. If you're writing in your own words, it also encourages critical thinking, which is very, very important. Chapter tests equal 60% of our grade, and homework and assignments are equal to the remaining 40%. These will include the terms. The terms are counted as an assignment. Projects are counted as chapter tests. An example of a project is Earth Science. Later in the year we'll have a volcano project, and also when we go on field trips, Life Science and Biology will be going on a dissection project later in the year, and that will count as a test grade as well. I do offer extra credit randomly throughout the year. This could be in the form of extra questions on a test, or it could be an extra assignment. If students feel that they need to boost their grade, they need to be sure to answer these extra bonus questions on the test. And I will consult with students regarding their grades and whether they could benefit from an extra assignment or two. I also offer tutoring. I can make myself available either during study hall, a half hour before school, or a half hour after school. And I can contact you as parents when your students can benefit from the use of tutoring, and we can communicate either via RenWeb or we can exchange email information at open house. I feel like science is a great opportunity for us to glorify God. The more we learn about the nuts and bolts of what's around us and what's inside of us, allows us to really, really be completely amazed at God's work and the miracles that are all around us every second of every day. And so teaching and learning science from a biblical worldview allows us to really appreciate all of God's miracles and understand that science really is evidence of everything that is around us, all the beauty that God has created. The blessings of this knowledge helps us glorify God with the way we live our lives and also the choices we make every day. I want to thank you so much for being a part of our Humble Christian School community, our family, and I really look forward to meeting all of you during our open house on August 10th. Thanks so much.